Hi, beautiful people. Today is a very sunny Sunday. Well, here and there it started to rain, but overall, sun is still up, so everything is well in the crafting world, I hope. Today is a little bit different. Today I want to show you how to crochet. Well, we will start with the simple basic. And why? Well, first off, this is a diamond painting channel, I know, but I sometimes hear people say that they cannot crochet although they want to try, and just want to show you that crocheting is not so difficult, and it's actually a fun hobby because the world opens up when you can crochet. Like, first off, it's not that expensive. Unless you fall down a rabbit hole, which I did, and start to buy all the yarn possible, then it can be expensive. But let's not talk about that. All you need actually is a ball of yarn and a hook. So I've got two examples here of hooks. This is an ergonomic that I bought in Veritas. I don't know if it's available in other parts of the world. It is by, I cannot even, Prim, yeah, that's the brand. And this, if I'm not mistaken, is a clover. And that are the more expensive kind of hooks, but you don't need that expensive stuff. You just need a simple hook that you can buy anywhere in a craft store and a ball of yarn. About the ball of yarn, I want to tell you, very important, if you're a starting crocheter, just go for a bulky yarn. Why? Because it goes faster, you will have more results more faster, but you will be able to see your stitches very good, and that is important for a beginner, that you can see your stitches very well. So that's why I always tell people, start crocheting with a thicker yarn. And how can you determine the thickness of the needle that you need? On the ball of yarn, most of the time, well, almost always, you see the hook size that you need. So sometimes you can see the needles for knitting, and you can see a crochet hook. Here you only see knitting, and it says a 4 or a 5, but I tend to go one size higher. So when it tells me that I need a 4 or a 5, I usually take one higher. So for this ball of yarn, for example, I would use a 6. Other thing that you have to know, what was I thinking about? It slipped my mind. Oh yeah, about the sizes. So there's a difference between American sizes and English sizes. So I know that in America you've got the letters like B, C, D, E, and so on. In England, again, there are other numbers, and you also have needles that have a number. So you've got letters and numbers. And here in our country, it's always in millimeters. So that's one thing that you have to watch out for when you see the type of wool that you have, and the size of the needles, because it's very different in America than to Belgium, than to Great Britain. In England, for example, that's also something very, very important. So these are the universal signs of the different type of stitches. So in every pattern, every little symbol will be the same. So a slip stitch will be this black dot, a chain will be like this, but they're called differently. In USA, for example, a double crochet, in England they call that a treble, and there sometimes you can get confused because a treble in USA is actually a 3 double crochets. So that's something you have to keep in mind, but for a beginner it's not that important. You just learn all that along the way. And and when you start with a crochet project, please start with something really small, like a pot holder, or I don't know. Just don't start with something big like a blanket or a scarf, because it might get frustrating if it's not working out, and a little project will give you some more feeling of I don't know the word. Anyway, it will give you accomplishment. That was what I was looking for. So a small project can give you that feeling, and then maybe you will be able to do something bigger in the future. So let's start. Another thing before we start. I'm sorry, it's a long intro, but it's really important that you know that stuff. The way you hold your needle, your hook, the way you hold it, the way you hold your yarn, it's most of the time a personal preference. So if you see me holding it differently than you would, it has to be your personal way. You have to feel it like how it feels in your hand, and there's no wrong way to do it. Just, yeah, there's a wrong way to do stitches, but there's no wrong way to hold your hook and your wool. Just do something that feels comfortable for you. So in the beginning there was a loop, because you have to start with a loop. You have to start somewhere. Casting on. In knitting you would say cast on. So what you do, I hold my yarn like this. I press my thumb here to hold the yarn. I go around my finger. I cross over and I hold both parts with my thumb. Then I put this, pull this up, take the one underneath, pull on both. There you have your beginning loop. So again, pull this out, magic, yay! So you hold your yarn, you go around your finger, but here you cross, then you have those 2 loops. You pull this up, you take the one, pull it underneath. There you go. That's what you need. Again, one more time. Take it, hold it here. You go around your finger like that. Pull this up. Take this piece of yarn, and there you go. So that's what you need to start. Put it on your hook, of course, and you pull on the longest end, so the end that goes to your yarn. You pull it so that you can tighten it. But that's also something I want to say in the beginning. Some people tend to pull on the thing really hard, and that's not necessary. So you have to keep it loose, and when you do your first chain, your beginning chain, do it really relaxed and loose, because otherwise it might get frustrating afterwards to put in the hook, and that might set you off into a tantrum, and you might throw it away and never pick it up again. So not too tight, just go loosely. So now we have the hook on the loop on the hook. I tend to hold my, wait, I see if I'm focused. I tend to hold my yarn, so the shortest end, and keep a long string if you can. I tend to hold it in between my middle finger and my what index is this? I don't know. And I hold my hook like this. This is just the way I hold it, but for me that's the most comfortable way. So now we are going to try to make a chain. The beginning chain, is always the beginning of your work. So even if you're doing it in the round, if you want to do a square, you always have to make a chain. And the chain for a square project, the length of the chain will determine the width of your project. So for this tutorial, I would say, like, we are going to do 10 chains. So what do we do? I hold my yarn like this. I do it like that. It's just the way that's comfortable for me. So I do it like this. We pull over, so from the back to the front, like this. And you keep it like that. You keep your yarn here. Take this part. You pull the first loop through, and there you go. That's your first chain. So again, because I don't know if I'm really good in camera. So we've got our, okay, we go from back to front. We hold this. This is the loop that was on your hook. This is the one that you just made. You pull it through like this. And I hear that I'm doing this too tight already. So that's not a good example. So you hold your work, go from back to front, take this, pull it through. We have made 3 stitches already, like 1, 2, 3. So it looks like a braid, and you can count the stitches by looking at the V shapes. So 3 stitches. For this project I'm gonna make 4. So 1, 4, 10 I mean. So I've got 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 6 more. So I go like this. 1, 2. Oops, and my wool is a little bit fuzzy here. 3, 4, 5, 6. So now this fuzzy bit, I don't care, it's just to show you. So now you've got your start chain, your beginning chain. We can count if you want to, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have to turn the work, so always when you make your beginning stitches or when you end a row, you have to make an extra stitch to start the new row. I don't know if this makes sense to you right now, but so when a project asks you for, like, let's say 120 stitches plus an extra one, and especially when you're doing just the single crochet, then one is enough to turn your work. So we have 10 stitches. At the end of the row we should have 10 stitches again, because now I'm gonna make an extra stitch, but that's just a stitch to be able to turn my work. So now we have a beginning chain of 10 stitches plus 1, because what are we going to do now? So you can see those V shapes. So this is the extra stitch you made, so you don't touch that one, but you go down in the second stitch from your hook. So 1, 2, we're gonna make a single crochet, so that's the easiest stitch to learn. So we turn our needle, we hold this and we hold the thread like this, turn our hook, and we go in the V shape of the second stitch from the hook. So then we have got 2 loops on our hook. To make a single stitch, you go from back to front, you pull the yarn through the stitch like this. Then you've got 2 loops on your hook. You can tighten it a little bit if you want to. Then you've got 2 loops on your hook. Turn around it again, and you pull this first loop through both other loops on your hook. So this one goes through that. There you go. That's your first single crochet. So this is the one you did. Now we take the next stitch. We insert the hook inside the stitch like this. Then you've got your work like this. Yarn over, that's what they call it when you go from back to front. Yarn over, pull it through the first loop. Okay, then you've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again to both loops, through both loops. There you go. It's your second single crochet that you made. Gonna repeat that again. I'm gonna do a few rows with you guys, and then I will do a square and I will come back to you. But for the sake of the video, first we're gonna do this together, and I hope you can all see what I'm doing. If not, this video will probably go in the waste basket. How do you call it? The bin. Yeah, for computer it's bin. So, never mind. Oh. So, you go. So you see you have your stitches here. So you go into the next stitch. Yeah. Yarn over. Pull through 1 loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over. Pull to both. There you go. Next single crochet. Now, if we count, we've got already 1, 2, 3 single crochets. So that means that I should have now 7 of these V-shape stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because cannot forget the counter last one. So, okay, we're on track. Go in the stitch. So inside the V shape, put your hook in. Yeah, automatically this one, that's because I'm holding the yarn like that. So yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, there you go. So, and another thing I forgot to mention, you need bulky yarn to start, because it will be easier, but also pick a color, a light color. So like pick something that's yellow, or so you can see the stitches very well, because it's not always easy to stitch, like for example black, especially when you're in the evening and it's getting dark. There are lights, I know, but just take something that's really good for your vision, a bulky yarn, a light color. So there we go. Yarn over. Oh, no, 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 what am I doing? Sorry. Cut that out. Put your hook in the next stitch. The yarn over. Pull through. Yarn over. Pull through both. And then when you have a little piece like that, I like to hold it also in my hands. So now you can see the stitches very well. So this is your stitch this is the stitch that you made. Now we go into the next one. So put your hook in there, pull the yarn through, yarn over, then pull it through, yarn over. There you go. Again, we go into this one. My yarn is already over automatically because that's the way I hold my yarn. I pull it through, yarn over, pull through both. Okay, see, this is the stitch you made. So next stitch is this one. We go in there. Just put your hook inside the V, don't matter. Oh, I've got a knot here, I don't mind. We will do it with knot and all. Pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Okay. Oh, am I focused? Focused? Yeah. There we go. That's a little bit tight, even for me. Last stitch, don't forget this one, because this one always looks a little funny, but you cannot forget that one because that's actually a stitch. So you go in, you pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Now, if we count, we should have, look, this is the way it will look. And if you count, you should have 10 stitches. Why? Because this stitch is the one that we made extra, remember? To be able to turn the work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, then it's oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. This one is the extra that we made. So we've got 10 stitches. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But now to turn our work, so we've got our 10 stitches, we need to do an extra stitch. So we just do a chain. You have your crochet work, yarn over, pull it through. That's an extra chain you made to be able to turn your work and start the next row. Then you turn your work like you have this, turn your work. Okay, now how to proceed? Well, actually there are two ways now that you can proceed. Wait, I'm gonna count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, so I have to go in this. So this is your extra stitch that you made, and then you've got 10 like these V-shaped stitches, and when you count you will have 10 like these. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Oh no, yeah, 10, because that's the stitch we made to turn. So 10. We go, so you see this V. There are two ways now you can proceed. You can go under both. So wait, I don't know if it's really visible. So this is my loop. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So I have to go under this one. Okay, so this is the V shape. You can go underneath both strings. Then you have got something that looks like this, or you can just go in the top one, and then you go with your hook inside the stitch. Why am I telling you this? Well, for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna make it easy, and I'm just gonna go in the back loop. So they call this, in the V shape, they call this the back loop and the front loop. So you can always choose to go underneath the loops like this, then you put your hook in like this, you see, and then you have got these two strings, or you can choose to go into the back loop only. For the sake of this video, I'm gonna do back loop only. Like, I'm gonna put my hook in these V's in this stitch like this, because that might be the easiest way to learn, but it depends. It's just how you like to do it and what's most comfortable for you. But sometimes it's important for a work like I'm gonna show you quickly before we go on. So this is some this is some mosaic crochet that I'm doing now. And the only thing that you have to know for this particular project is the single stitch and the double crochet. But for this work in particular, it's very important that you only go into the back loop of your stitch. Why? Because otherwise you won't get the effect of the mosaic crochet. And that's why I say it's sometimes important for projects, for the look of it. So you can choose that for yourself, what feels more comfortable, or you can see what the project demands. So, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to go in the V shape, and we're gonna take the back loop. So this is the back loop. That's the loop of the V shape that's the furthest away from you. We go in there, in the V shape. Our yarn is over, very important. We pulled it through one, yarn over again, pull two through, pull two through two. Okay, first stitch done. Next, this is the V shape. We put our hook inside. We've got this one, so this one has to be over the hook. Pull it through one, yarn over, pull it through both. And then we go all the way like this. So we put our hook inside the V shape. The yarn is over, pull it through, yarn over. There you go. So you see, this will give you a more ripped effect, like you will see the stripes. If you go underneath, then you will see that it's not gonna have this effect. So it depends, it's your personal taste. You can experiment with both ways, and going through both loops will make the thing that you're making a little sturdier. Going through one loop will make it just a little bit more airy, I guess. So the V, go inside, pull your yarn through, yarn over, there you go. The V shape, go inside, yarn is over the hook, pull it through, yarn over, through both loops. You can hold your work if you like to. There you go. One last stitch, don't forget the last one, because that sometimes happens. I also do make mistakes, don't worry. Like this. So, and whenever in doubt, you put down the work and you just look at it and you see if it's still the exact amount of stitches. So now we should have 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means that we're on the right track. So what do you remember? To turn your work around, you make an extra stitch. Or some people like to turn first and then make the extra stitch. It's just what is more comfortable for you. So you go into the first stitch here, put your hook in, pull the yarn through, yarn over, through both loops. Go into the next stitch. I'm sorry, I'm not in camera. Go here, pull your yarn through, yarn over. There you go. Oops. My ball is running away from me. Go into the V, yarn over, go through. So always remember that you always have to pull your yarn through. Don't forget that. There you go. The V, go in, up, up, go in, up, yeah, V, pull the yarn through, yarn over, go through both loops, inside the V, pull the yarn through, yarn over, through both loops, inside the V. There you go. Normally, as I told you, we should have 10 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's correct. And now you see what happens when you go through the back loop only. You get this, like this stripe. When you go through the back loop only, that's the way it looks. So we will do 2 more rows like that, and then I will show you the effect what you get when you go. Oh yeah, we have to make our turn stitch. So 1 stitch. I will show you the effects that it gives when you go through both, when you go underneath the V instead of inside the V. So for this one, I'm gonna go a little faster. I'm very sorry guys, but I just want to show you the difference between how it looks like when you go inside the V and when you don't go, when you go underneath the V shape. Oops. There you go. There you go. So, see, you've got this beautiful, like, I don't know what it looks like, but it looks like, I think it looks good. And it's very airy. So now we can do the same, but for the sake of the video, just to teach you, I'm gonna go through underneath the V this time. So okay, we're at the end. I make a turning stitch. Never forget your turning stitch, very important. So first I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee, sorry. So you see the stitches, and you can easily count them, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when it's correct, you will always have 10 stitches at the end of the row. So yay, we can do math. Math. Ah, my coffee is getting cold. Oh, boo-hoo. So now we're gonna do the same, so the same stitch, but we're going to go underneath the V's instead of inside the V. So see this V here? Oh wait, so this is the first one that we have to take. So this is a V. We go underneath it, and then you have got those two. You pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Underneath the V, see, this is like this bridge, and that's very easy to see. So you go underneath, that's another way, and that makes a different type of pattern. So, and in some patterns you will see it will be written like through back loop only or through both loops. Sometimes it's not mentioned, and then you can just go by personal tastes. But I want to encourage you to just experiment a little bit. So last row we make an extra. See, that's a whole different type of pattern. So we will do this again. Did I make my extra? Yeah, I did. So we go underneath the V. Like this bridge, you can see the bridge here. Go inside. Yep, you go underneath the bridge, pull it through, yarn over through both loops, inside, pull the yarn through, yarn over through both loops, and there you go. And this looks totally different. So with one stitch you can vary. You can play with it. It will give you a different pattern. So like here we went in the back loop, here we went, and I like this very much actually. Wait, I will show you again. So stitch to turn, there you go. You go underneath the V, pull your yarn through, yarn over, go through both stitches, underneath the V, oops, there's something here that shouldn't be there. I'm sorry, I know I'm sounding a little bit harsh. I've got my teaching voice. I've got my teaching voice on, because yeah, I just want to explain to you how it works, because I think you will like it very much. Once you get the hang of it, it's really fun to do. Like, see the difference? So this is where we went in the back loop only. This is where we went underneath the V. So, I hope this makes it a little bit clear for you. This is the single crochet that we did. Now for the mosaic that I'm doing, I'm gonna leave the links of the pattern of that, because it's a woman that's from Iceland that she created the pattern, so I'm not gonna show you in this video. I'm just gonna leave you a link down to her Etsy shop where you can buy the patterns, and to her channel. But those 2 stitches are the only stitches that you need to learn to be able to make the beautiful mosaic blankets. So now we're gonna do double crochet. And for double crochet, instead of making 1 chain to turn, you're gonna make 2 chains. Why? Because a double crochet is a bigger stitch, and you see, you want your work to be straight. So to do it, you make 2 chains. I already made 1, so I've got 1, 2 extra chains. I turn my work around, and now I'm going to do it underneath the V. So I'm going to go with my, just because I find it a easier way to work for this project, I'm gonna go underneath the V. So you remember, you can go inside the V, then you go through the back loop only, or you can go underneath the V. That's totally up to you, and be sure you can experiment with that. Both ways will be as beautiful. So now we're gonna learn the double crochet. So the difference between the single and the double is, to begin with, you have to yarn over before you go inside the stitch. So you yarn over, you go inside your work, then you yarn over, so you pull that yarn through. Now you've got 3 loops on your hook. 3 loops. What you do is you yarn over again, you go through the first 2 loops on your hook, then you've got 2 loops left, you yarn over again, and you go through both loops. So there, you made your first double crochet. Again, yarn over before you go through the stitch, go inside the stitch, you pull that yarn through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2 loops, then you've got 2 loops left, yarn over, through the last 2 loops. Next double crochet made. See, and that stitch is longer. In England, Great Britain, they call it treble. So whenever you see a pattern somewhere and you read treble, just make sure for your pattern that it's if it's a US pattern or a English pattern from Great Britain, because that might be sometimes a little bit confusing. So yarn over, go underneath the stitch, pull that yarn through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through the last 2 remaining loops, yarn over, go underneath your stitch, pull the, oh, what am I doing? Yarn over, yeah, it's okay. pull the yarn through, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through the last 2 remaining loops, yarn over, inside your stitch, pull that yarn through, got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through 2 of them, and it's always good that you hold this piece like that's making it more easy to work. Yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, and yarn over, back to front, back to front. So yarn over, go inside the stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn over, 2 stitches, 2 loops, yarn over, last 2 loops. So again, yarn over, go inside the stitch, pull it through, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over, through 2 loops. Yeah, this is the last remaining stitch. Okay, and then don't forget we said that we would need 2 chains to turn the work. So you do a chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's a a chain stitch. Oh my god. Sorry, can't talk. There. So we have our 2 stitches, our 2 chains that we made to turn the thing around, yarn over, and now I'm gonna do this one in silence, or try to do it in silence, so that you can just follow what I'm doing. So these are the stitches you see here. Look, there. So I have to go through here, yarn over. It takes some practice, but once you got the hang of it, it's so satisfying to do. And it's something that you can take with you in a train, wherever you are. You don't need to pack too much stuff. You just take your little project that you're working on, and that's why I like it so much. Because I used to go to work by train, and in the train I didn't want to read, but I wanted to do something, so I started crocheting, and it helped me a lot to not be annoyed too much on the train. So there you go in the stitch, and then we have the last one, yarn over, go inside the stitch, pull through, yarn over, through 2 loops, yarn over to the last, through the last 2 remaining loops, and there you have it. And you see the difference. So this is the single stitch, and this is the double crochet. We call it sticks in Belgium. In Dutch it's stokje. That means stick. So because it looks more like a stick. So, oh my god. I hope you found this very interesting. I hope you will give it a try at home. For this one I would say, please try it at home. So I'm going to show you, trying to show you the full project of the mosaic stitch. Like, there are all kinds of different patterns. So these are 2 with, those are the double crochets, those are the single crochets. Like, you can, and this looks difficult, but once you master the single crochet and the double crochet, you can do this. And that's what's so fun about it. Everybody thinks this is like this very difficult pattern, and it's actually not. It's just single crochet, double crochet. Of course, you will have to learn how to change color. If you want to, you can, I can teach you, but for first beginnings, I would suggest you try to crochet with a single color, and then when you get a hang of it more, you can change colors. So when the time is there, ask me. I would be happy to teach you. I hope this video was educational. And if you see something that you didn't like, you can as well tell me, because I know I'm not a professional and I might do things differently than other people, but I love to do it and I can make beautiful things, and that's the main reason that I love to crochet. So, oh my, this was a long video. I hope you have a great... And I'm back because actually there's something very important that I forgot in the previous video. Because let's say that you did something, you made yourself a pot holder and you're like, and now what? You have to cast off, because if you take this, then there's nothing much left to do. So there are two ways. The first way, wait, oh, I forgot to take my scissors, and they're at the, oh, wait. Just gonna pull you up just a little bit and show you the exciting surroundings. Oh, taking a scissor. So, okay, let's go down again. So, casting off. One thing you can do is just snip it off here, snip it off, and pull it through, and just pull it through, and then you have a string. Like, that's one way you can do it. But I like to cast off just a little more neatly. So what I do is I take the loop on my hook. Wait, I want to be in camera. I go underneath, as I would do with the single crochet. I pull through, but I pull it through the next loop like this. I go underneath, pull through, pull it directly through the other one, and that's called a slip stitch. You don't have to do it that way. I will show you how to do it full row, and then I will go back and just teach you the simple way, but this is one way I like to do it because it gives you a neat like beautiful edge. So you go in, pull through, pull it directly through the other one. So there's pulling through, but then there's no yarning over, so that's actually just a slip stitch. And you will see that slip stitch returning into other patterns as well. So, and then you've got this beautiful cast off, but of course that might be something that you don't like, because that can make the work just a little too tight. So what you can do is, when you want to cast off, we're gonna frog this, just go back to the beginning, So you're left with your latest stitch. You think, oh my lord, what do I have to do now? You simply snip it off and just make sure that you have got a long string left, a long tail, because in the end you might want to sew it in. You've got your loop, you yarn over, you pull it through the loop, you pull it all the way through, you tighten it, and there you go. And this is a really messy one because I used all types of different stitches, but I believe you can understand what I was doing here. So this can be a pot holder. So hope this was good. If you have any more questions, some things you want to share, please put them down in the comment or send me an email or just reach out to me by message on Facebook or on Instagram. There's also a little subscribe button there. Don't worry, you can subscribe. This will stay a diamond painting channel, but I want to teach some people how to crochet here and there, so you might get some crochet videos, but the main art on this channel will be diamond painting, so don't worry. But please subscribe, hit that bell to be notified, smash that bell to be notified anytime I put up another video. And I hope you have a really marvelous day ahead. Thank you guys and girls and men and women so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye!